Last week, I interviewed Connie from The Painted Photographer and discussed her small business and creative journey. If you guys missed that episode, I'd highly recommend giving that one a listen. It is jam packed full of a ton of inspiration, you guys. Now, in this week's episode, I'm going to talk all things Maker's Box, like how I came up with the idea, the why behind the Maker's Box. Is the subscription box perfect for you? Well, let's dive in and we are going to find out.
Welcome to the Rescued and Upcycled podcast with weekly inspiration, tips on trying new techniques, and overall real talk about owning your own DIY business. Now here's your host, Sonnet Ullenbrock.
Welcome back to Rescued and Upcycled. I'm your host, Sonnet Ullenbrock. I want to thank you all for joining me on my podcast. Now, this is episode 10, you guys. And honestly, doesn't it feel like I've been doing this forever? Or maybe that's how I feel. I'm really loving the podcast, and I honestly hope you guys are too. Now, in this week's episode, I'm really excited to talk about my Maker's Box. This is something that I have honestly been wanting to do for quite some time. I really wanted to create a DIY product that would come to your door each and every month. And at that time, when I was tossing around this idea, I really had no idea exactly what I wanted to provide you guys. I just knew that if I was my own customer, that I would want something like this. So it was something that I honestly have been tossing about, I would say for roughly 2 years. And yeah, like 2 years ago, I started thinking about this idea and just thinking like, what would I want? And at that time, though, I just didn't know what I wanted to include in the box and really all the logistics of it. So it kind of got put aside because my business was growing in so many other areas. But what I love to do, and if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that at the end of every year, I just sit down and I look at last year and what my goals were, what I accomplished. Do I still want some of these goals? And I then take a look at the up and coming year. And I finally decided this year, one of my goals was to finally pull the trigger on a DIY box. I wanted to kick it off mid year. So that's the other thing. I lay out all my goals, you guys. And then I come back and I determine like, when do I want to accomplish this goal? Like, when do I want to kick this off? Or when do I want to accomplish it by? And I wanted to offer a subscription box and I wanted to kick it off mid year. So I put it all on paper and then I kind of forgot about it briefly. So once I get these all on paper, I also, what I do is quarterly check in and I look to see where I'm at, what I need to like Sonic get back on track, but so some of the big goals for this year, I wanted to kick off my podcast. I wanted to do the Maker's Box and my big October event. Those really were my three big goals for the year. There were so many challenges, though, with the podcast, you guys. When I say challenges, if you've been following me for a bit, you will know I had some major internet issues. And you would think, why would an internet issue cause a problem for a podcast? Well, my internet speeds were so horrific with the company I had, it would not even allow me to record my podcast, which is kind of unheard of. I'm just like, I just assume that you can stream on anything, but you cannot. So, well, that was all being taken care of. The podcast actually got backburnered for a little bit until I was able to get the proper internet. So because that was kind of backburnered and I was waiting on a couple companies well, the current company that I have to get everything installed, I had a lot of time on my hands. And then I started brainstorming. about the subscription box. And I just remember I went on a fishing trip and I had plenty of time as I was sitting on the ice, a bit chilled. I started brainstorming about my subscription box. And I knew that I wanted to, like I said, kick it off mid year. And really quick into me brainstorming, I realized like I had to start quicker, faster, sooner if I wanted to kick it off mid year. There's so much planning that goes into a subscription box. And I'm like, okay, let's start planning it now. So at that moment, I broke out my phone. I started writing down ideas. But basically, when you have a lot of time on your hands, like when you're sitting on a solid piece of ice fishing, you brainstorming comes so easy. So there, like I said, there's just so much planning that goes into a subscription box. Like I first and foremost, I had to decide what did I want to include in the box. And that really took the longest, you guys. I couldn't have a box unless I knew what I wanted to include in it. So I tried to sit back and think of myself as a customer. And I started to think of things that I would love to receive each and every month. And I'm like, okay, I would love this, but is that even doable? Oh, I would love that. Or where would I get this? Or where would I get that? And I initially thought about creating a project box. So have all the pieces of the project right there for you, and we could do a project together. But very quickly, I tossed that idea out. I just wanted to give my customers more options. I didn't want to limit it to just one project. I wanted to give you products that you can then use on your items that you have. And many of my viewers are actual upcyclers or DIYers or just even dabblers, but most love to upcycle, DIY, or crafty. And then it hit me. What about a decoupage paper box? And I could include paints or other products. And then I really started to brainstorm even further. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this idea. I would love to get decoupage papers every month. There are times where, like before I became a retailer, I didn't even know what was out there. And so then I settled on like, I love Royce's papers. I mean, I talk about them all the time, you guys. I include them in my projects. I love Royce's papers. So it's just such an easy way to upcycle and completely change the look and feel of an item with a simple piece of decoupage paper for very little. And I mean, sometimes when you buy some other DIY products, you're making a huge investment. So, with a piece of decoupage paper, the investment is not that great. And you can create, like, I just did a video where I created with one piece of paper, I upcycled like 3 projects. So, I was thinking that would be great to have Royce's papers. And then I thought, well, she does a release every so many months. And I mean, I could just, follow with that release or pick papers out of her existing papers. And then I thought, wouldn't it not be cool to have an exclusive paper by Royce in my box each and every month? And then I got nervous, you guys. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to ask Royce to create an exclusive paper for me. And I'm like, you know what? What's the most that can happen? She can say no. And what's the most that can happen if she says no? Will I die? No. I just will figure something else out. So I picked up or I went into my email and I shot her over an email. And again, I was so nervous. And I asked her to create an exclusive paper each and every month for my subscription box. And she responded very quickly. She said she had to toss around that idea, that I know she's extremely busy, you guys. I mean, she's running a business. She has her own membership group. She's always like, she goes to everyone's lives and she's just so amazing. I don't know. And recently I heard that she said I was so organized. I feel like she is very organized and always, there for her retailers, and I just love it. And so I'm like, is she going to be able to finagle my subscription box or creating for me each and every month? So within a day, you guys, she reached back out to me and she said she spoke with her CEO. I'm like, oh my gosh, she has a CEO. And then she puts, AKA my husband. I almost died laughing. And he loved the idea and said that she should go for it. So I honestly, you guys, I was so excited. And this was very early on in the stage, early on in the planning stages. And initially, I had asked for only one paper a month. And then as my brainstorming started to go further, I got a little greedy, I will say, and I decided I wanted 2 papers, and so I asked for 2 papers every month, and she agreed to it. So, I was just so excited, and I decided that with the 2 papers, the first I want them to kind of go together. So, like the colors have the same look and feel to them, or you can use them together if you want, or you can use them in different projects but still put them in the same vignette. So I was really excited about that. And it's funny because when next week I'm doing an interview with her, or I did the interview, but you guys are getting it next week. She even says, "Well, you only started off with 1 paper and then all of a sudden it was 2." I'm like, "I know." Well, I got so excited, and to the thought of having exclusive papers in my box that you guys can't get anywhere else, I was like, "This is awesome." So I am very excited that she has agreed to do that or be part of my maker's box. Now, the brainstorming then continued, and I'm like, well, would it not be cool to have like 2 different types of papers in this box? So Royce has this amazing like 18-pound tissue paper, but I've also dabbled with rice paper. And if you don't already know, Connie from the Painted Photographer is an amazing artist, and she designs her own rice papers. So it was really a no-brainer. I reached out to her right away and I said, "I love your designs. You're so talented. Will you design a paper for my maker's box?" And she agreed. The one reason why I really decided to go with Connie is that she hand draws her designs, and just as like on her Whiskey Wednesdays, she hand draws and teaches her viewers how to do this. And she hand draws different designs. And then what she does is she uses DIY paint and she paints them. And I love DIY paint as well, you guys. And then she adds her signature Connie lines. And this pulls the entire piece together. So I just knew she was going to be the perfect fit for my maker's box, and I loved it. I was so ecstatic that I not only had Royce, but I had Connie as well. And then the brainstorming continued. I just was trying to figure out at that point, like, what else, what's going to bring this all together. And then I'm like, well, I offer fusion, I offer DIY paints, I offer sweet pickins. And would it not be cool to then curate those colors to go with those papers? And that's exactly what I did. I decided to pick out 2 fusion colored paints each and every month. I decided to pick out 2 DIY paints each and every month, and then 1 Sweet Pickins milk paint. And it just made so much sense then to me. I'm like, why did it take so long? That way you don't have to go out and try to figure out your own colors. I've already curated the colors that will coordinate with the papers. And then guess what, you guys? You get to try new colors. So many times I hear, like, I really like that color, but I'm afraid to buy it. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I just don't want to buy that much of it. And then this way, you guys get little like samples of it. So you get samples of each of the colors. Fusion already has testers, which that's what I'm using. And then I've created testers for the DIY paint. And I am so excited that it is all going to be pulled together. Now, and keep in mind, you guys may stumble upon a new favorite color. I think that's awesome that you're going to be able to try new colors and new papers. And then you're going to get exclusive papers that you're not going to find anywhere else. So once I had that all taken care of, like I'm like, okay, I've got my brain wrapped around what's going to be in the box. Then I'm like, what am I going to name the box? So that literally took me weeks to figure out, you guys. Like I was constantly like stuff, just tossing it around in my head like what did I want to name this box? And I've decided, everyone said your name has to be on the box. It's so unique. And I'm like, right. Everybody knows, Sonnet's Garden Blooms. I definitely want Sonnet on the box. So I obviously put my name in it and I'm like, what is this box? Well, it's a maker's box. It's for all you makers out there. You upcyclers, you DIYers, you're all makers. And so that's how I came up with the box name. And then I was deciding whether or not I wanted a custom box or did I just want a plain box? And I am so colorful. If you guys have been following me, I love color. I love everything bright. And I decided, nope, I want a real colorful box so that when it shows up at your door each and every month, you're getting the maker's box. And so then I designed the box next. And you can get a sample. So I'm like waiting in anticipation, you guys. Like I was so excited to get this box. I'm like, is it going to be exactly what I designed or is it going to not be? And when I opened it up and I put the box together, I'm like, oh, I love it. It was absolutely perfect. And just from everything from the colors, like I love like turquoises, reds, greens. It was just the right mix of colors. And then I love that big label that's right in the center with the box name. So I was so excited to finally place that big order for my boxes. When those came, I was like, oh my goodness, that's what that many boxes look like. So to get the best price for the box, you have to order so many. And I anticipate that this is going to be month after month after month, and we're going to just keep growing it. So I ordered a lot. But once that was all done, I just decided, that it was all coming together. And really, you guys, the why behind the box, like, why did I come up with this box? Well, I want to say, like, I wanted to create a unique experience for my customers. Like, what would I love in a subscription box? And that's why I created it. I just wanted my viewers and customers to be inspired each and every month. And what inspires me? I kept thinking back to like me as a customer and what I would want or why I would want this. And I think it would be amazing for each and every month. I have a new release showing up on my doorstep. And it's a mini release. So it's very doable. I get to use it each and every month. And then by the time I get that all used up, then the next month, new papers show up. So um, one thing that I love is when I can get a new release from one of my favorite companies. And that inspires me so much when you have a new product to work with. It's kind of like when I go thrifting. Do I really need to go thrifting? No, but I am inspired by the new items that I thrift. That is very similar to getting new product. Do I need the new products? Probably, like I think of like each and every month, I'm like, okay, I have a lot of this or I have a lot of that, but I'm inspired and I love getting it. And then it makes my creative juices just flow. So each and every month, you guys, it's like getting a new mini release. And I love the idea of it being a surprise. I thought about telling you guys or showing you guys what you're getting. But then it made me think back to when like Christmas morning and think about how excited you were as a child just sitting there waiting to get your gift with that anticipation of what's inside. So when you receive that maker's box at your door and you open it, it will feel like Christmas morning, and that anticipation and that excitement that you cannot wait to unbox your creativity by opening the maker's box. And that's what I want you to feel. I know that a lot of people are like, well, can't you show us? So I have been doing sneak peeks so you can kind of see some of the stuff that you're getting, but it is definitely just a little peek here and there. Um, but I want it to be a surprise for you guys. I want you to feel that excitement and that anticipation, and that when you finally open it up, you are unboxing your creativity. So, each and every month, what's included in the maker's box is you guys are going to get 2 exclusive Roycycled decoupage papers, 2 exclusive The Painted Photographer rice papers. You are going to get 2 Fusion mineral paint colors, 2 DIY paint colors, 1 Sweet Pickins milk paint, and then there's always going to be a little bonus item in there for you, something that I have found that I want to include in the box. So it's going to be different each and every month. And then I also have a QR code in the box. So you are going to get early access to that YouTube video where you'll get lots of ideas and inspiration. And then after everyone has the box, that YouTube video will go live for everyone else to see. And then there will be a live unboxing. So during the live unboxing, I will stream both on Facebook and YouTube, and then I will unbox everything that's in there. I will talk about what's, like the papers. I'll talk about the paints. I will also do a project live. So you'll have more inspiration on that live unboxing. And then that's a great time for anyone who has the subscription box to be on the live and talk about it and tell me what they think and what they love, what their favorite item is. So I am super excited about that. Now, you may ask yourself, like, is this box for me? All right, let's see. Do you love new releases? I absolutely love new releases. So the box would definitely be for me. I am completely inspired by new releases. Do I want to get coordinating colors for my papers? Yes, I do. Then, yes, this box is for you. Do you want to try new colors that you may not have in the past? Then I would absolutely recommend the box. Do you love surprises? Now, this could go either way. Some people hate surprises, but this is a good surprise, you guys. So, yes, this box is for you, even if you may be on the fence of whether or not you love surprises. And are you a DIYer, upcycler, or maker? Then yes, this is the subscription box for you. So I am so excited to kick this box off, you guys. Keep in mind, this is a limited edition subscription box. So both Royce and Connie are creating something that is exclusive to just me. So they are not producing massive quantities. I have to give them the quantity to produce, and that's what they make for just me. With Royce's papers, it does take 4 to 6 weeks to make the paper. So that's why like I had to get on this like quicker, faster, sooner so that I could get the papers all made. So I already ordered and have on hand my June and July box. Same with Connie. I gave her the quantities, and that's what I have, and that's all I have. So because it is a limited quantity, what I am doing is I'm creating what's called a wait list for those of you who want first dibs on the box. What I'm going to do is I am going to email everyone on the wait list on May 27th, and the email will go out at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. So anyone that's on that wait list will receive that email. And if you don't get it, check your spam box or your whatever box that it may have gone into. and you guys are going to get early access to purchase. So after that, I will then open up to everyone from May 28th to June 1st at midnight. And then at that time, I'm going to close the cart and then I'm going to start packing and shipping. So like I said, it's a limited quantity. Once that limited quantity is gone, it will close immediately. But after the wait list, if there's still boxes available, I will open it up to everyone. And then no matter if there's extra boxes or not, June 1st at midnight, it will close and then I will print off the labels, start packing and shipping. I'm hoping to have everything shipped by like the 5th of the month. That way I can do my live unboxing by like June 14th. That's the day I'm in my head. Everyone should have their boxes by then, and June 14th I'm going to do the live unboxing. So when you open the box, though, the QR code will be there, and that will be available for you to start creating on your own and watching that video. Yeah, definitely start creating once you get it. But yes, the link for the wait list is going to be in the description. So if you guys are wanting to get on that list, I would do it now. So if you want to get the, first dibs on the box, you guys are able to. All right. Well, I am so excited to finally kick this off. I just wanted to give you guys a little background on, the why and the how I came up with the subscription box. And I am just so excited for this new journey in my small business. And, you guys, I hope you're enjoying this podcast and I hope you enjoyed today's podcast and just a little background of the Maker's Box. So, um, now in next week's episode, like I hinted before, I am interviewing Royce from Roycycled Treasures, and I am so excited for that interview, you guys. And you guys really get to see and know Royce a little bit more. She is an amazing person, small business owner, and I know you guys, if you don't already know her, are going to love her just as much as I do. All right. Well, today, do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe if you are actually listening over on any of the podcast platforms. If you are watching on YouTube, definitely give my podcast a thumbs up. Let me know in the description or in the comments what you guys are thinking about the podcast. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So every Monday and Friday, I put out a full YouTube video. I do my podcast every Thursday, and then I do go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I provide a whole lot more content over on YouTube and Facebook. I also am on Instagram as well. So if you don't follow me on any of those platforms, definitely give me a follow. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next week with the interview with Royce. All right, guys, we'll see you then. Bye.